Welcome everyone. Let us talk about how to create and definitely capture value for the organization. So yes, we are going to talk about creating and capturing value in this video. Throughout this video, this topic would be more or less common: the economics of strategy, how to have maximum benefit with a minimum input. Now, basically, what I'm trying to tell you is how to optimize, how to create values and capture values is what we will talk about it. Allow me to take a glorified example which is valid across the world, and probably all of you must be aware of it, is a case of Walmart. It's one of the retailers which has been profitable completely across the world. Way back in 1962 when it opened its first store, and today it is at 2023. Walmart is omnipresent. Response to the problem in 90s, what happened when new international super centers were coming up, Carrefour was coming out, Best Buys was coming out, e-commerce site eBay was coming out. Now this is where people were rocking the boat, and that is what we wanted to go around. Experiment with traditional sized grocery stores, as in brick and mortar, or mama stores, if you want to go around it. The corner store, which is the friendly neighborhood store, which was always there along it. So it tried to partner itself. 1998, the stock was again performing well, and that these rocky period, it did navigate itself to this profitability. Now, how does it come across it? How does it that it is beating the market practices over a longer period of time for more than 60, 70 years now? What accounts for the success of these firms? Should all property managed firms should be having a superior performances? Should we have only property oriented or brick and mortar stores or physical stores that we're talking about physical business, or is only the virtual store where there are no inventory, where there are no rentals, which drives the sale? Or should I say the middle pathway, having a little bit of a brick and mortar and the online version, the virtual store, mixing it up so that you optimize values for your customers? What action can managers take to generate this superior performance? Can manager enhance the performance by diversification? Do all firms eventually drop back to the pack? How do you go at it? If you eventually you have a single pronged strategy, but eventually you follow the leaders? Is it the case? Strategy, as by management definition, what are you good at it? What is your core competence? What is your competitive advantages? Can you drive it through? That is what management definition would be going around it. But what happens with the economic definitions, wherein it is value that we were looking into it, what drives the bottom line? Most important. So profitability is to create values. Profitability is to capture value. That is what we go around it. You have a core competence. You have a competitive advantage. That is your value. Value has been created, but are you able to optimize it? Are you able to market it? Is the customer going to take benefit of your, let's say, one of the strategies is lowest cost producer? Are they getting the value at the lowest cost producers rate? If not, what is wrong? This is where you need to understand. Look what we are having with creating values. On the y-axis is the dollars, or the price that goes around it. It is whichever currency that you're following it in your market, in your country. And on the x-axis is the quantity of business that goes around here. This quantity of business, amount of businesses. So you will see there is something where the business takes off, the sales increases, automatically the cost of the price will come down, and this is a point where it becomes break even. Beyond this is all profitability, as will be shown clearly out here. This is the producer bond transaction cost that we go around it. This is profitability once the break even point is crossed. As you create, as the value increases, the consumer bond transaction cost goes lower and lower and lower. It is as simple, if you do not understand, is if you purchase a single quantity, you have a fixed price. If you have double the quantity, your price gets little marginally reduced. If you are a regular bulk quantity buyers, probably your transaction cost goes much lower. You have a price advantages, and that is what Walmart was doing around here till date. Now this is what we were trying around: the producer surplus and the consumer surplus. Which helps drives the consumer? Is it the value? Can we create? Now this difference is the value that we are looking forward to create all together. Transaction cost, can we hammer it down and create value? Consumer transaction cost is cost of every search that goes around, cost of learning about the product quality, or probably even negotiating the price is what the consumer transaction cost is all about it. What is the producer's transaction cost? It's again the negotiation where it can up is profitability, or probably the attorney fees, the legal fees that comes around it. Examples: Dell eliminated the middleman in a direct web to PC. Dell was the first company which says it will be made to order. A customized PC will be delivered at your doorstep. You take it out, we build it out, and deliver it at your doorstep. Was taking a direct competition with the behemoth of an organization called HP, Hewlett Packard, to gain their customizations or gain a marketplace share. So that is what we are looking. Early Walmarts were in rural areas, reducing transportation costs by opening store close to the customers. Walmart did a different strategies. It wanted to be in the vicinity of the customer. Wherever it was the customer, they wanted to open up a store. Craft Lunchables, as the case might be. Terrorist attacks and airline industry defined everything. Other ways to create values is product quality. Nothing can beat this. If you have an impeccable product, people are going to flock for it. So, Titanic golf clubs, parabolic skills, you name it, you have wonderful qualities as the case might be. Pricing complements, value for money. If the price is not at the niche or is at the mass level, people can afford it. People will automatically go for a good price, good quality product. So cut the price of the component, increase the sales of both the project, application, print and personal computers, razors and blades. Price substitution, raise the price of the substitute. Application, don't allow people to bring food into a theater. Airline, restrict the use of cell phones thereby. Now we are talking about capturing value. How do we go out here? Is the long run profitability of a competitive market. Economic profit, accounting profit, you name it. We are looking at the bottom line. Firms with market power, with barriers to entry, without any barriers to entry, as the case might be. Capturing value, as in what works and what does not. Barriers to entry is high cost of starting a business. That's one of the barriers. Barriers to entry would be the legislation that the federal government has imposed, or the huge tariff that the federal government has imposed. These are your barriers. Degree of rivalry is number of alternatives available, number of competitors in the market. That is what your degree of rivalry is about it. The more the number, the difficult for you to make a dent. The more the size of the numbers being more size, not the number of, but the size of the corporation is big enough, it becomes very difficult to penetrate through. Threat of a substitute product, probably can you eliminate the existing product and substitute with a new one? Can it be done? As an email Foxpos was threat to FedEx or Federal Express or UPS. Now these are the delivery courier services that have been doing around it. But nowadays the fax machine has come around it. The email have come around it. Buyers and supplier power. Example: the Microsoft or Intel in personal computers. Simple question of who is more powerful. Is it the buyers or is it the sellers? Superior factors of production. Better inputs means better cost. It will be priced on a higher end. Some things are difficult to copy. Example, a flexible technology. Example, a team production. Example, a human resources, your technical team, your leadership. Difficult, in fact, impossible to copy. These is what your superior production factors are all about. It your inputs in terms of raw material, your inputs in terms of manpower, your inputs in terms of technology. So all good things comes to an end. Just wanted to give you an example as an eye opener. Way back 1970s, the top 10 companies were IBM, AT&T, General Motors, Standard Oil of New Jersey, Eastman Kodak, CS Robeck, Texaco, General Electric, Xerox, and Gulf Oil. Top 10 countries of the world at that point of time, specifically in the US market. Now, approximately 48 years later, approximately half a century, how many companies have been there figuring it out? You look, Walmart was not there. It is number one. Exxon Mobil was not there. It's number one. Chevron is not there. Number one. Number three. Similarly, General Motors have sustained itself. ConocoPhillips was not there. General Motors have been there and still is there. Ford Motors was not there, is figuring it out. Citigroup was not there as a banking institution, was not there, figuring it out. Bank of America has come to prominence. AT&T was their number two, but had been shifted to or slotted back to number 10 position. See the shift that comes around it. And believe me, if we have to take it on 2068 or 2070, another 50 years down the lane, you will see there will be a new crop of corporation that would have been coming out altogether. So benefits are economies of scopes. Example, when one input is used in a several product, you may get a better price. You may get a better price for ordering it. Promoting compliments. Example, the auto financing for an automobile. If you want to purchase an automobile, it can be financed by the same company altogether. So you earn not only a profit by making a sales in the automobile, but once you start financing it, you earn a profit in giving a loan also. So this is where you complement your products, and probably it can enhance your bottom line altogether. You, if automobile is a difficult example to understand, you buy a bar of soap for cleaning, for taking a bath. With it, a shampoo, if we can, go around it. So first, it can be complemented. It can be added. So a bar of soap would be costing you approximately 50 cents. A shampoo, another 50 cents. But a combined product might be available at 90 cents. Giving an incentive to the customer to buy both the combo product. On the other hand, you're making a sale of not only a bar of soap for which the customer wanted to go for, but you have promoted your shampoo altogether. Isn't that a win-win situation? Cost. With large firms, it is increasingly difficult to get a lower level managers to act upon the interest of the consumers or the owners per se. Then comes the volatility. This is very difficult thing to go around it. You need to understand the prices of oil. You need to understand the prices of energy is fluctuating. Even the price of gold is fluctuating on a daily basis. Forget gold. Any metal is fluctuating on a daily basis. You name it. It can be iron ore, it can be copper, it can be steel. Absolutely, it's been changing on a daily basis. Why? Because of the demand. Why? Because of the surplus. Why? Because of the supply. You name it, there are factors around it, apart from the other geopolitical factors that keeps on coming around here. So don't you think that diversifying makes sense or creates value? Obviously, yes. Related diversification. Business serves the common market or the common audience, the common consumer. Person with to purchase a soap end up purchasing a hair item or shampoo item. Example, Disney operates theme parks, hotel, retail shops, and TV station. Everything is a family oriented product. This can reduce the transaction cost to a loss. I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video till the end.